Yeah, Roy, I mean, I think this has been a special probably occasion for us, we're celebrating 10 years of the club, which is in some ways quite a crazy thought that it's only been around 10 years. And there's a lot of people who I think have put a huge amount into the club in the behind the scenes and probably don't get the accolades that we sometimes get as guys who are directly involved. And a lot of those people are here tonight, so I think we really just wanted to play for those people and celebrate their contribution and thank them for their contribution over the time. So we just had them all in our change, or some of them in our change room now, which was something we've never done before, but that's why we're a bit late here, so sorry about that. But so it's good.
Were you particularly happy with the way your team managed the game?
Yeah, I was happy probably, Mel, because we didn't really plan for this. This is the way we wanted to play this game at the start of the week, and then obviously when it started raining, those kind of plans had to change. And I thought Dane and Matt Tamua in particular did a great job of just leading the guys tactically in terms of what we had to do to win the game. So yeah, it definitely wasn't the prettiest game in the world, but it was actually we said it at half time, it's just like a battle of attrition. And if you win those things, that means you care and you're fighting for each other and you're working for each other and all those things. So from that side of things, we're really happy, and I think we're going to celebrate it as a team tonight, because it's not one person who stood out. I think it was just a real team effort to squeeze them and ultimately get the outcome.
So Dave, in terms of the improvement from week 1, 2 and now this week, in what specific parts of the game are you happy with it and making good progress with it?
Yeah, lots of parts. Jeff, I think probably, as I've said during the week, like the thing about sports, you never get too up and you never get too down. You're never as good as you think you are, you're never as bad as you think you are. You're somewhere in the middle. And I think in our guts we know that the team's going good and the group's super connected and everyone's buying in. I mean, you could see that in the way that they played tonight. And sometimes things don't happen for you in a game. That's just sport, So I'm pleased we got the win from you're obviously always pleased that you win, but I think, if I'm honest, I kind of know that we're going to have a good season. I've always felt like that. I've said that since round 1. I think you fundamentally know when you've got a good group of people that are working hard and the things that you're doing are getting are transferring and all those sort of things, and I certainly feel like that with this group.
Did you feel like you stepped forward in the line out tonight, especially second half? Steve Mesa scoring was pretty sharp considering how wet it was.
Yeah, we were, and we had some changes there during the week. I mean, Luke Jones had to pull out late with an injury. Jermaine Ainsley had to pull out late. He's been ill. We handled all of those things, those last minute changes, and I think also again that probably shows that the maturity of the group is improving. I think the other positive is that in the last 3 games, I think we've had 11 people debut for the team. So I hear a lot of people saying that the Waratahs are a young group and whatever. I think they had one young guy, maybe at 10 on the field, but we've had 11 guys debuting in the last 3 games, and they take a little bit of time to assimilate, and it's one thing to do it in training, but to do it in a game is totally different. So, and those guys, a lot of them stood out tonight, which was great.
How difficult were the conditions out there for you guys, and how did you go about adjusting, as Dave was talking, the tactics and sort of what you were doing out there?
They were definitely difficult. It was a sort of game you didn't really want the ball too much, but we didn't have to do too much to adjust. I thought our 9 and 10 controlled us really, really well, put us in the right part of the field, and then our forwards, a really good set piece, and just kept getting up and going all game. Every time we kind of got down there, we looked like we were going to get points. So it was, as Dave said, I thought it was a really good all-round performance in tricky conditions.
Dave, can you tell us about Ryan Lara in this one too? Was there anything about the force? And he obviously looks right at home playing Super Rugby.
Yeah, a very talented player, powerful, fast. But you can see, I think he's definitely matured. Obviously played with him quite a few years ago back at the Force, and just his game management has come a long way. He's taking really good options, just dangerous the whole game. So really exciting to have him in our squad.
Dave, can you tell us what happened with Frank Romani? Like, you had to change your bench.
Yeah.
How late did that happen?
Last night, Mel. I'm not 100% clear on it myself, to be honest. I think our understanding of the guidelines are very different, obviously, to what's Rugby Australia interpreted as the guidelines. as I said before, we had a few injuries with guys like Luke Jones, Trevor Hosea, SA are injured. So the 3 locks that we picked tonight are literally our only 3 fit locks. We have 2 injuries at tight head with Jermaine also out. So young Kabos Elof, who's a foreign developing player, came in as a part of our squad. And then late last night we were basically instructed to remove Frank Lamani from the squad, from the bench, for Theo Strang. So yeah, we'll keep on having those discussions with Rugby Australia to understand how the interpretation of those guidelines is different.
What was your interpretation before that? Did you think there were rules that you could, when there's injuries, you could bring one of the foreign guys in?
Yes, yeah, effectively yes.
It's no point he's got a groin injury, has he? And what was Anna's?
Yeah, Anna had a tight calf from about the 20-minute mark, and I think that probably just shows how muddy and things that it actually is underfoot, that his calf started to tighten up so early. He's an important player for us, obviously, with Jordan at least he's still out. So we decided to probably be a bit cautious with him. So he's actually fine, but we decided to pull him off just in case.
He's ran into some issues last year with the bigger South African sides. With the Sharks next week, will you be approaching the game a bit differently because of that, compared to a conference game?
Yeah, I think Jeff Wayne Smith was saying to me in the week, I think we've won about 70% of the Australian Derby games, which we're really proud of, But I think one of the hurdles we haven't managed to do is to dominate particularly the South African teams in the same way, So it's a massive test for us next week, and I think that having watched the Sharks quite a lot yesterday and today, they're a hell of a good team, and they've got a lot of World Cup winning Springboks in that team. So, like I said in sport, you're never too up, you're never too down. We will enjoy this win. I think it's nice just to take for the boys to enjoy it a little bit, but then obviously Monday we've got to work pretty hard because it's a massive challenge happening next week.
Dave, with Reece, do you know any more about it?
Oh no, he'll go for a scan. Roy is probably not feeling super confident at the moment. So yeah, touch wood, we're okay there, but obviously we don't really know till he has the scan.
Dane, what's it do for the lads to get a win? Not just get a win tonight, get a win over the Waratahs and build on from here.
I think it's just good reward. We've been working really hard, and when things don't go your way, like the first 2 rounds, you just got to stick at it. And yeah, I think as Dave said, won't get too high, won't get too low, and we'll keep building. Got a big game next week.
I think it might rain in Ballarat like it did tonight, since you guys are so good in the wet.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah.
I think it's funny sometimes. Probably last year the Brumbies had quite a slow start to the season and they ended up on top. I think the year before, the Waratahs, I might be wrong, but I think they lost the first 5 before they got on a bit of a run and then ended up winning the conference. That's just the way it sometimes goes. And I think what we have to focus on is just what's the next game. I know that sounds cliched, but we do feel we've got better. Maybe we're a little bit undercooked in Japan, which is probably primarily my responsibility. We certainly improved at the back end of the Brumbies game. We felt we were finishing strongly there, and then we've continued that tonight. So we've just got to figure out what the next steps are and work hard on that stuff.
So those losses were just part of the plan?
I wouldn't say that, Mel. I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but I guess probably what I'm saying is, you fundamentally know when the team's in a good space and guys are working hard, and there's a good understanding of the things we're doing and things like that, and we certainly feel like that, which is why we can sit here with confidence and say we feel like we're going to have a good season, And of course it hasn't been done yet, so we still got to fight for that, but we're feeling pretty good about just where we are as a team.
We have a few more locks to choose from.
The Jonesy's got a sore back, which is again, he got that from flying to Japan. So that's one of the things that happens in that trip. One of the things I sometimes feel with those trips is you may beat the Sunwolves as some teams have done over the last couple of years, but the impact of the travel and the trip will affect you at some point in the next couple of weeks if you don't manage it properly. So sometimes you might win that game, but you get knocked over in another game you should win down the track because you didn't manage those things well. And so the good thing for us is that we got one of the big travel components out the way for our season, and that's a big deal going forward.